Trojans have long stood for excellence. Names like Royals, Bolts, McFadden, Jones, and Johnson. And when they call the Hogs, it is a rite of passage. Today, a pair of Pac-12 teams getting set to square off in a game that could have season-long implications. As we'll see, the Washington Huskies taking on one of the top teams in this conference, the Arkansas Razorbacks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. Washington will kick off as this one gets started. Fielded in the end zone. It's Anthony. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Receiver with jet sweep pass out of the crowd, and now he's got room. Breaks into the open. He's inside the 40, the 20, and he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Arkansas! And the Hogs have put up the first touchdown of the game, and whooping.
Pig going nuts in the stands. Great fan base. They get excited, and you get out to the lead early, putting that score on the board. They are going nuts.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the PAT makes it 7-0. If only it were always this easy for the offensive coordinator. One play, big chunk yardage, put points on the board just like that. He'll bring it out. It's Green. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. Running back searching for a hole. He'll get it out to the 25. Not bothered at all being backed up, and they've got a first down. That purple wave getting things going on the ground now.
And such a great fan base in the Pacific Northwest. Washington fans believe in their team. They're loud, and I tell you what, when they got a ground game they can depend on, a physical ground game, it sets the table for everything they want to do offensively.
And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And just nowhere to go for that runner. He had no choice. That defense, they were bringing it up front. Everybody winning their one-on-ones, and they completely had him surrounded.
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting him know it's going to be a long day. Looking to throw, it's McMillan. Grabbed over the middle, it's Harris. chase and making the big play after the catch.
And that's the beauty of this offense and this playmaker at wide receiver. Throw the ball short, but what he does after the catch, he's just got so much speed, so dynamic with the football, and this is why they get it to him short because...
Intercepted, big play, stops the drive. He stopped not much on the return, but a whole lot in getting the football.
Man, that is picture-perfect cover zero. When I play cover zero, I'm bringing pressure, and that ball's going to come out. Look at the defense. Ready for that ball to come out of the quarterback's hand. Nice job breaking on the football and going and making the interception.
The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. A quick strike touchdown up top the last time they had it, Jesse. They'd love to do it again.
No doubt. They've got so many playmakers on the perimeter, David. Just find a way to get these guys the ball in space.
And you already started, man. Making that big play, opening up this offense. This quarterback is feeling good about himself. I wouldn't be surprised if they give it right back to him.
You open a drive like that, and the entire playbook opens up on first down from the 44. Quarterback may change this route. To the air on first down. Pulls it in. It's Anthony. Knocked out of bounds after a good gain on that one. They'll spot it at the 43.
Well, the defense needs to find a way to slow this guy down. We're only in the first quarter, and already this guy has over 100 yards receiving. They have got to find an answer for him.
Looking for a man. It's Holstein. He tries to take the top off. He's got it all right. And he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, Razorbacks.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the time to be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone. That was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. And he's coming out of the end zone. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he'd just taken the touchback. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. They've gotten off to a sluggish start and need to put something together on this drive. This sophomore stopping him short of the first down line. Let's talk for just a second about Washington. Really interesting matchup here. It's always fun when the top two teams in the conference get to square off in the regular season. With all the expansion, it's become a little bit of a rarity, hasn't it?
It has. Obviously, there's so many teams in each conference, but head-to-head still very much matters. So if you're sitting, obviously, at the top like these teams are, the head-to-head this day will really matter down the road.
Yeah, this was a game we circled way back in the preseason, expecting these two teams to be as good as they are, and now we get to find out who's the best in conference. Both these teams relishing this opportunity to show not only their opponent, but the rest of the conference who the top dog is.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on third down. The play action fake. Looking for a huge play. Snags it on the right. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, Dave?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open, because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
The give to the running back from the shotgun. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
And a nice crisp run. Great job. Maybe expecting pass, in second down, but really good job running the football, committing to it, getting the first down.
Washington has a lot of things working, set up with another first down. Creates a little room. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't get any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
They knock him down inside the 30 at the 29. It's a pickup of 6.
Just really solid play by this offense. Nice job. Whatever the defense gives you the option, they're trying to make you walk. The problem is, defensively, you got so much to cover. Nice chunk game. Just remember, that quarterback can also stick his foot in the ground, get north-south, and make plays, too.
Wants to throw. It's McMillan. Got a man in the middle. Got enough to move the sticks. First down from the 17. On the run, it's Cox. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Well, we know this offense obviously really struggled there last time out. They knew coming into this one they would have to be better at running the football, and that just has not happened in this game. They're simply not physical enough offensively at this point.
Catch in the middle, it's Cox. Able to make his way past the sticks for the first down, and the time is going to drain out here in the first quarter. We're through one, and what a back-and-forth battle between these two quarterbacks as we look at the stats. Just about ready to get things started here in the second. We'll see if they continue to flex that muscle. They'd love to start this quarter off with a touchdown right here. Quarterback, quick pass to the receiver. That touch pass went nowhere. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
A nice job by the defense with the edges. They try the touch pass on first and goal. Nice job setting the edge, not letting him get outside, making the good tackle, forcing second down and goal.
Looking for just one more yard. It's second and goal. Quarterback sneaks ahead.
A nice job by this defense. You kind of knew something like this was coming. Great job. You got to get penetration. First thing you have to do is get up under that center. Make it really hard for him to go forward right now. Nice penetration, stopping the quarterback sneaking its tracks.
On third and goal, you can't hear yourself thinking here. Quarterback keeps it. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Washington.
The defense knew coming into this game they were going to have their hands full. Not only did they have to worry about these running backs in the running game, they had to worry about the quarterback as well. On designed runs and on scrambles, they didn't have an answer for him right there.
Ready to try the point after. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. Precise, relentless execution on that 13-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. He'll bring it out. It's Anthony. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he'd just taken the touchback. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. They've been firing on all cylinders, touchdowns on each of the first 2 drives, and they'll try to make it 3 for 3. Flushed out of the pocket. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Well, this offense has gone his way early and often in this game. They've gotten into a nice rhythm. That time, though, the defense was expecting the throw going his way, and they put a really nice hit on him to force the incompletion.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Caught in the backfield. It's Sherrill. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
He was not fooled on that one. You know, a lot of times you want to buy space, and you throw this route really when it's off coverage. But you could tell the cornerback was up, ready to come, pounce on that screen, and get the tackle for a loss.
Now backed up in their own end, it's 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Holstein. Oh, he's going to try to hit him deep. He's got him for a big play. They make the stop, but this junior loves to show off his arm strength, and he did it there.
Ice water in this quarterback's veins, man. 3rd play of the drive. It's 3rd and 10. You know the defense is expecting pass, but this quarterback, laser focus. He found the matchup. Great job of reading coverage, and that was an absolute dime deep down the field.
Throws for the tight end. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover.
And this ball looks like it just got away from the quarterback. I think he made the right decision. He was going to the receiver that seemed open, but just not very accurate on the throw, and that leads to the interception.
And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. They reeled off a long touchdown drive the last time they had a much better field position this time around. Here's the handoff. Runs through the tackle. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard.
This offense has really struggled, and I think you're just waiting for one play, one explosive play to happen to hopefully galvanize you a bit offensively. That's not the case, and there, they try to run the football in the first play of the drive, and it gets absolutely blown up for a loss.
Bought a little time, lets it go. With the catch, it's Harris. Gets it inside the 10, out of bounds at the 9 after the big pickup on that one.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense.
Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. The run up the middle, trying to steamroll his way in. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on third down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested situations here on third down.
They'd love to make this short field pay off with a touchdown instead of settling for 3, but it is third and goal. Firing to the right, complete. And they make the stop, and this offense has it inside the 5, and they are threatening. To throw, it's McMillan. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Huskies! Fitted in the window for the score.
And I like the decision to go for it. And I think a lot of people probably thinking this close to the goal line, 4th and goal, they're going to power it in. Nice job. They had this play ready. They go with the pass. Nice throw, nice catch. Huge job and huge execution on 4th down.
He'll bring it out. It's Anthony. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Wide receiver comes in motion. Out of the gun, the running back has it. They believe in that running game, got 6 before he stopped at the 23.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
The Razorbacks with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Let's go! Gets the back moving. We'll take a quick break as we have reached the final 2 minutes of the first half. And the Razorbacks in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Might be calling a hot route. Back to pass, it's Holstein. Buys a little extra time. Can't make the connection, the pressure there caused the mistiming.
There's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set accurate as he wanted to be.
The Razorbacks come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. From the gun, wants to pass. Caught near the sticks. It's Sherrill. Chain gang on the move. It'll be a 1st down at the 29. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one. But we know who he really wants to go to on 3rd down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer, but you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
Trying to get behind the defense. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
I know one of the things this defense really prides themselves on is being physical, and early in this game, putting a big hit on a guy that's already had a couple catches in this game, that's a good omen for the defense.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Red pass, it's complete. At the 45 on his way. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the 40.
what a massive play for the offense. Not only getting the football across the 50, but they've now put themselves in position to steal a few more points here before the half.
And the Razorbacks back to the line on first down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Motion from the back. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
The Razorbacks trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the lead. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
Well, it was a good throw, it was a good route, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
Seventh play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. The offense changing the play. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's fourth down. And the Razorbacks moving quickly to the line. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Unloaded just as he throws. It's incomplete, and they stop him on fourth down.
Well, they're unable to come up with that one on fourth down, and I remember this as a player. You practice specific plays on fourth down for those types of situations, and you know all week against the scout team, they've gotten really clean looks, easy to execute against. They didn't get a clean look that time, so you chalk it up to the defense, take note of it next time. You might not run that play again if you're in a similar situation.
Up now, here's second and long. They'll send the back in motion. On second down, he'll try to make the connection. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. They'll hurry to the line here to try to get off that third down play. Dropping back, it's McMillan. Trying to set up the screen. He's brought down at the 49. That is well short of the first down. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. Emboldened by converting a fourth down earlier in the game, they'll try a second time. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. Now on fourth down and 5, they'll try to move the chains. They'll run play action. Unloads to the right. Makes the grab, plenty for the first down. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referee's caught it.
Man, oh man, those types of penalties just drive defensive coordinators crazy. Was fourth down, now first down. Wide receiver going in motion. Quick pass on the fly motion. And this one will be stopped for no gain. quick tempo, no huddle offense. Second down, clock's running. They'll immediately call timeout.
Timeout, Washington.
Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Looking downfield, it's McMillan. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. And it's third down, but they're going to go ahead and try the field goal and try to get points before the break. What a disappointment. No good. After that failed field goal attempt, fellas, still tie ball game.
Hey, sometimes I just feel like fourth down, man. Just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss-make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Trying to escape and get it himself. Oh, he's got some space. Big gainer there that'll look good in the stat column, but not quite enough to put any points on the board before time expires here in the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. Just about set to put toe to leather as we are deadlocked here in the third. The returner will field it and try to do some business. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Paul? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
He breaks a tackle.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game. But when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
And the Huskies come to the ball trying to pick up this third and short. Grabbed behind the line. It's Bray. There he goes. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's first down.
And that's why through the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
Pulls and throws off the RPO. He steps out of bounds right at the 45-yard line, and now they're starting to put things together.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football. You can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
This quarterback part of their running game. They'll mark him down right there, and that'll be enough for a Washington first down. The Huskies are marching down the field. his man on the option. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
It's a veteran defense. They've seen option before. They were prepared to see it in this game, and you're seeing it on that play right there. Everybody doing a great job with assignment football, staying in their gaps, accounting for anyone who can have the football. They were ready for the pitch guy that time, and they're able to make a quick stop.
That's caught. It's Cox. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
What's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
And the Huskies really need to keep this drive alive on third down. Back to pass, it's McMillan. Flips it out to the back. He'll pick up a few before going out of bounds at the 34.
And this is why checkdowns are so big. There's a lot of quarterbacks in these types of situations on third down. They just want to make the home run, highlight-type throw. But a nice job being poised and making a good decision, checking it down to the running back here to help your offense out.
This is the most annoying thing in the world for a defense, is when you start to play all these plays and all these pass concepts and routes, and then you let the quarterback get outside the pocket, and he takes off, and he gets a first down. Like, so much to defend. That is the hardest thing to defend, because you don't know where it's going to happen on the field and when it's going to happen.
Quick completion to the right. Gets it inside the 10, out of bounds at the 9 after the big pickup on that one.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
On the move. And he's brought down, but a flag is also down. A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. Fans are bringing the noise on 1st and goal. Gonna run it. It's Cox. He's gonna lose a yard on that one.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Back to throw, it's McMillan. Quick strike complete. Turning it on. Wrestled out of bounds. They'll mark him at the 7-yard line, and this offense is more than threatening.
Well, short completion setting up third down now. Who is your best playmaker that you can target in this area of the field?
It's 3rd and goal and 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Got the quick pass. And they've got him down after the short completion, but they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. They're happy enough to try to take the points as the field goal unit heads out. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. No good. And after the missed field goal, guys, we are still locked up.
And that's frustrating. I mean, you put a drive together, you're in scoring zone. Like, this is a green zone. You should be making all of these kicks, these short field goals, the chip shots. Kickers have to come through. They got to do their job.
They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Power football with the run. On the move is the 30. Pushed through behind his pad. Turning on the Jets. At the 20. Touchdown, Arkansas. They take the lead with the 6.
Man, it's easy to call plays when I got guys like this who can take the ball and rip it 70-plus to the house. How about the speed? He showed you a little bit of wiggle. This dude's got it all. Nice touchdown run by the running back.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. That one's going to get a little star marked beside it on the play sheet. One play, explosive, touchdown, just like that. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he's not going to take the touchback. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. They'll go to the ground. They get him down, and that'll be the final play of the third period. That's the end of the quarter, and Arkansas has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the fourth quarter. And a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on second down. Scanning the field, it's McMillan. Took a shot as he threw. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long, different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls in.
The Huskies are facing third and inches. They'll try to power their way ahead. Breaks into the open. And what a huge chunk play for this offense. Just exactly what you need to move the ball down the field.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just silly. Look at the angles, people trying to catch him, but he's got so much juice. He can outrun those angles and make enormous plays.
Wrestled out of bounds. They'll mark him at the 7-yard line, and this offense is more than threatening.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special.
And they will score! Touchdown, Huskies! Extra point here will tie the game. And that extra point was good, and we are deadlocked here in the fourth. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. To kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Coming out with it, it's Anthony. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. Looking downfield, it's Holstein. He slings it deep to the left. A big-time catch along the sidelines. Got the foot down and an excellent throw, too.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws, just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
You get a play like that and you feel like you can go in and finish the deal. It'll be 1st and 10 from just inside the 50. Wants to adjust the pattern. Looking to throw on 1st down. Slings it downfield. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds.
Bad news on that play, it's an incompletion. The good news is the quarterback knew if his guy wasn't going to catch it, nobody was with that ball landing out of bounds.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Looking to fire. Bringing the heat. Pressure's there and he gets rid of it. Nothing doing downfield. He'll cut his losses and throw it away. It'll be 3rd down.
And I'm kind of surprised by this performance, man. The QB last week, you could tell, dude, he was in rhythm. He was good timing. You could tell the chemistry with receivers were good. And today, everything just looks off. And it looks hard. It looks difficult. They got to find a way to get back in the rhythm they were in last week.
Boy, guys, they got off to a great start with that big first play on this drive, but now a couple of incompletions leaves them in a hole. He'll try to do it himself. Almost had a lot more room there, but he'll go out of bounds at the 36. The Razorbacks are moving quickly down the field. Here we go. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. He's knocked down in the backfield, and even that spin move couldn't create space.
Well, there's just nowhere to go for the runner on that last play. Just way too much penetration up front, and as a result, they lose yardage.
Last play didn't go well. It leaves them with 2nd and 11. To the air. It's Holstein. It's complete to the left. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. And that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
They'll move the tight end. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. And it's incomplete, but the penalty flag has fallen in the holding zone. Let's see what the call is. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. A touch out of field goal range. They need to pick up yards quickly on 3rd down. Quarterback making checks. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. And it's intercepted. Oh, what a big play in a tie game.
This game right now is hanging in the balance. It's tight, it's close, tied here in the 4th quarter. One play can change everything, and that was a throw that the quarterback wishes he could have back.
And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. That running game was impressive, taking them right down for a touchdown last time, David.
Yeah, just mauling. No secret play calls, just simply we are more physical than...
Oh, he's got some space. Nice pickup there. Gets him the 1st down and sets him up at the 45-yard line.
I love the play call by the offense here running the ball. The score is what it is right now. You don't have to panic. You don't have to throw it every single down. You don't have to go up tempo. Just run your stuff. Be balanced. Run the football. Make sure this defense stays honest.
Finds his tight end. And the big fella couldn't elude the cornerback. He makes a sure tackle.
They're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to get the first down.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. The give to the tailback. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. It's amazing how a play by a defensive end in the backfield can really swing the momentum not only of a series but of a game sometimes.
All you're trying to do is create negative plays, to get them behind the sticks a little bit, to get those sacks, to get those tackles for losses. You see so much stunting in college football up front with the defensive line because you know once you get one of those plays, you got the offense right where you want it.
The defense is there, and a great job to keep him from getting to that first down marker. He's hard to get a handle on. It'll be 4th and short. No signs of any kind of kickers. They'll leave the offense out there to try to move those chains. The clock has stopped for the timeout, and we have reached the final 2 minutes in this one. Going for it on 4th down late in a tie game. This is a huge play. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Looking left. Makes a catch. First down and maybe a lot more. Touchdown, Washington. And with that, they move out front here in the 4th.
Man, how about this offense in crunch time, doing what they do, getting 6 on the board. Now I turn to my defense right now. I said, boys, we need one more stop. Go out there, get me one more.
The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Fielded in the end zone, it's Anthony. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Back to throw, it's Holstein. Using his legs to buy some time. Had to throw it before he wanted. Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down.
And obviously that wasn't a great play for this offense, but the defense did their job. They flushed him outside the pocket. But nothing worse than getting tackling in bounds or throwing it for a 4-yard gain, letting that clock tick. Nice job throwing it away, saving as much time as you can.
Back to pass on second down. Got rid of it just in time. Couldn't find anyone open here, and he'll live to fight another play. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, they've thrown 2 straight incompletions, and they just need to play pitch and catch on this next play. They're down a possession, and you don't have to necessarily get the first down right here, but if you don't get it, you've got to at least keep the 4th down manageable to give yourself an opportunity to keep pushing the ball down the field and give yourselves a shot to win.
You make up the game plan, and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Might be changing the route. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Makes the catch. It's Anthony. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down.
Man, is that good situational football. Understanding what they're trying to do. They're trying to get it to their speedster. I got to come up. I got to get him on the ground. Nice execution by this defense, and they're going to need more of it. Late in the football game, who's going to win this battle?
Down a possession here in the fourth, and they'll need to convert on this fourth down. Finds a little space. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down.
These are the plays you know exactly what you're going to get up front. The offensive line does a great job blocking. Just create a little bit of a hole, pound through that hole. That running back, they can't tiptoe, they can't dance. Run north-south and get that first down. Nice job.
Looking to throw, it's Holstein. Here's a throw downfield late. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down.
Well, these two have been absolutely unstoppable in this game, and it just feels like every time this guy drops back to throw, he's throwing it to one guy and one guy only. The defense cannot stop him. He has been a matchup nightmare all game long.
They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Quarterback strolling away from Heat. He just threw it away. The last thing you want to do is try to force something on first down in the red zone.
Well, it's the fourth quarter, and you got to be so careful as a quarterback when you're throwing it over the middle of the field right now because these windows are really small. He's very lucky that last one was not picked off.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. There he goes. Got some room headed to the goal line. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Razorbacks.
Man, great execution. That is how it's done late in the football game. Now, all you need is that extra point. Bring the kicker out there. This is what you do. Just like practice, knock it through the uprights, tie this football game, and we might be looking at overtime soon.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Starts from their own 25-yard line. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3. Timeout on the field, and we've got a dandy all tied up late in the fourth. And the Huskies with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Looking to throw, it's McMillan. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical and pass deep.
Decisions, decisions, decisions. If you're the quarterback right now, that's the most important thing. You cannot put the football in harm's way. Tie football game late, but with these timeouts in your back pocket, you've got an opportunity to drive the field and win this thing. You just cannot throw the ball to the other team.
Play action. Well, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. Timeout is called by the defense. A mere 21 seconds to go here.
And everybody knows when you're running that play action, that fake has to be great. Everybody has to bite it for it really to work. Defense didn't bite it, didn't bite the bait, and then after the quarterback got him on the ground.
The Huskies will be forced to boot it away. Finally sending out a punter in this one. Got to make sure they earn their letter. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. This drive will get started from the 37-yard line. Movement on the offensive line. That's going to be a false start, and they'll walk it back. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Motion from the wideout. Quarterback making adjustments. Looking for a man. It's Holstein. That's caught. It's Brown. Turning it on! Ridden out of bounds at the 45. A big play for this offense. They'll use the timeout. 6 seconds left on the clock. The offense setting up shop at the 46. 1st and 10. He just couldn't hold his water long enough at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a penalty. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. After the 5-yard step off, 1st and 15 for this offense. Here's the snap, ready to cut one loose. Fires it down the seam. Got it inside the 10. They get him stopped at the 5-yard line, but it will be 1st and goal from there. Well, guys, let's play some more. Headed to overtime.
And this just feels right. Both of these teams going back and forth. So, of course, David, this thing needs to get decided in OT.
Let's see who's better. Short amount of time to do it. A couple possessions, probably maybe one possession each. Who's the better team?
All right, guys, so here we go in overtime. And just to refresh everyone's memory, alternating possessions starting on the opponent's 25.
And you want to play defense first because you want to know what you need. That's a key philosophical approach for most teams when it comes to overtime, David.
Yeah, and remember the rule change a couple years ago, too, and the second overtime and 2-point conversion. So all this stuff is situational type football that you better have worked on throughout these weeks of the season.
And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
Man, on those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
And the Razorbacks with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Wants to throw it. Grabbed in the middle. It's Davis. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the 1st down, but a good gain on that play. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. And boy, is he close to that 1st down, maybe just a couple of inches short. The tension, the intensity, the drama, the offense steps to the line on 4th down in overtime. Powers through the defender. Touchdown, Arkansas! They jump on top here in OT.
This is like having an extra running back in your backfield. This quarterback is magic. When he decides to keep the football, he can make people look absolutely silly. He shows you on that play.
Now, they don't have to go for 2 here, but it looks as if they're going to try it anyway. Did not get it, and instead of kicking the extra point, they missed the 2, and the lead is 6.
Washington, 28.
They know what's in front of them. They have to answer that score with a touchdown. Off the play fake on 1st down. He's going to run it. They get him on the ground. Didn't see anything downfield, but made a little something out of it. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They'll line up for a 2nd down play. quick release on the RPO. He'll step out of bounds at about the 11.
It's not a great feeling on defense, too. When you're blitzing, you're expecting to get a sack. You're expecting to get a hit on your quarterback. If the offensive line and running backs pick it up, because now you have one less guy in the back end trying to cover all these receivers and tight ends, and you know you're in trouble.
Now on the move. Ball is out behind the line. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. My pulse rate is still through the roof on this game. I would have called that one free. Wait, I don't want to get carried away, but it was a really fun game and a great win.
It really was. I know we're all up here, we're bouncing around, we're excited after having seen what we just saw. What a great win for this team to go out and do it in overtime. That's the type of game that fans are going to be talking about for a long time, David.
Free. Yeah, right. If you know Reese Davis, that is not happening, but we got a free game that was awesome, back and forth, nip and tuck, and bonus time. You got some free overtime play in that one.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.